Hello, listeners. Welcome back to TubTube podcast community, where we explore the biggest what-ifs in history. Today, we're diving into a fascinating alternate timeline. What if the Roman Empire never fell? Imagine a world where centralized governance spans centuries, technological innovation never stalled, and global trade networks flourished long before the modern era. From politics to culture, economy to geopolitics, this episode will take you on a journey through the possible realities of an enduring Roman Empire. Stay tuned as we reimagine history and uncover how it could have shaped the world we live in today. What if the Roman Empire never fell? Full exploration. The fall of the Roman Empire is one of the most significant turning points in history. Had it never fallen, the course of world history could have been drastically different. With a detailed exploration of each point. 1. Political implications. If the Roman Empire had never fallen, centralized governance might have continued to dominate much of Europe, the Mediterranean, and beyond. The empire's administrative systems, which were among the most advanced of their time, could have expanded and evolved to meet new challenges. Political unity. The Roman Empire's centralized authority would likely have maintained a strong bureaucratic structure. The Senate and other governing bodies might have adapted to include representatives from newly integrated territories, creating an early form of a federal system. This could have led to a more unified Europe under a single political entity, avoiding centuries of fragmentation into feudal kingdoms and later nation-states. Furthermore, the concept of Roman citizenship, which was extended to conquered peoples, could have evolved into a more inclusive and universal model, fostering a sense of global belonging. The Romans were pioneers in administrative efficiency, including tax collection, census-taking, and urban planning. These systems could have been refined further, potentially influencing governance models worldwide. Concepts like welfare systems, legal representation, and public accountability might have developed earlier, influencing modern democracies. With the Romans' emphasis on rule of law and codified legal systems, international relations and treaties could have emerged centuries earlier, fostering global stability. Avoidance of feudalism. The collapse of centralized Roman authority gave rise to feudalism, a system that dominated Europe for nearly 1,000 years. If Rome had persisted, the hierarchical and localized nature of feudalism might never have taken hold, allowing for earlier economic and political modernization. This would have prevented the rigid class structures and limited mobility that characterized medieval Europe, potentially leading to a more meritocratic society. Impacts on the Byzantine Empire. The Eastern Roman Byzantine Empire persisted for centuries after the fall of the Western Roman Empire. If the West had not fallen, the two regions might have remained unified, combining the West's military strength with the East's wealth and cultural sophistication. This unity could have bolstered the empire's ability to resist external threats, such as the rise of Islam and the invasions by the Ottoman Turks. Additionally, a unified empire might have facilitated greater cultural and economic exchange between Europe and the Middle East, fostering a more interconnected world. Global governance. Had the Roman Empire survived, it could have become the first truly global superstate, setting a precedent for unified global governance. The principles of Roman administration, such as provincial autonomy under central oversight, could have been applied on a global scale, creating a model for future international organizations like the United Nations. This could have significantly advanced diplomatic relations and conflict resolution. 2. Technological and scientific advancements. The fall of Rome led to the so-called Dark Ages, a period in Europe characterized by a slowdown in scientific and technological progress. Had the Roman Empire endured, technological and scientific advancements could have continued uninterrupted, possibly accelerating human progress by centuries. Infrastructure development. Roman engineering marvels such as aqueducts, roads, and urban centers were unparalleled in their time. Continuous development of these systems could have led to earlier innovations in transportation, sanitation, and urban planning. For example, railroads or mechanized vehicles might have been developed centuries earlier. The Roman focus on infrastructure also emphasized connectivity, which could have facilitated the spread of ideas, goods, and people, accelerating cultural and technological exchanges. Scientific discoveries. Roman society, influenced by Greek thought, placed significant value on empirical observation and practical science. Without the interruptions caused by the empire's collapse, advancements in medicine, astronomy, and physics could have occurred much sooner. Technologies like the printing press, steam engines, and even early computers might have been invented during the medieval period instead of the Renaissance or Industrial Revolution. The systematic approach to knowledge preservation through institutions like libraries and academies could have created an uninterrupted chain of intellectual progress. Early industrialization. With a stable economy and political system, the conditions necessary for industrialization could have emerged earlier. Access to resources like iron and coal, combined with Roman engineering expertise, might have enabled the development of machinery and factories long before the 18th century. This early industrialization could have transformed agriculture, manufacturing, and transportation, reshaping societies globally. Preservation of knowledge. Many ancient texts and scientific discoveries were lost during the chaotic period following Rome's fall. If the empire had endured, this knowledge could have been preserved, studied, and expanded upon, leading to earlier scientific revolutions. For example, the works of thinkers like Archimedes, Ptolemy, and Galen might have been built upon directly, rather than rediscovered centuries later. Global innovation networks. With the Roman Empire's extensive trade routes and cultural exchanges, an enduring empire could have fostered an early version of global innovation networks. Collaborative efforts between regions as diverse as Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa could have led to groundbreaking discoveries and technological advancements. Number 3. Economic developments. 3. Economic developments. A surviving Roman Empire could have created a global economic network far earlier than the age of exploration. Its vast trade routes and monetary systems laid the groundwork for a connected world economy. Trade networks. The Roman Empire's trade routes connected Europe, North Africa, the Middle East, and parts of Asia. If these networks had expanded, they might have reached the Americas or sub-Saharan Africa much earlier. This could have fostered a truly global economy centuries ahead of its time. The integration of diverse markets would have facilitated the exchange of goods, services, and ideas, leading to economic prosperity on an unprecedented scale. Standardized currency. Rome's use of standardized currency facilitated trade and economic stability across its territories. If the empire had survived, a unified monetary system could have extended globally, reducing economic disparities and fostering greater economic integration. The introduction of advanced banking systems, credit mechanisms, and financial markets might have occurred far earlier, laying the foundation for modern capitalism. Agricultural advancements. The Romans were adept at agricultural engineering, including irrigation and crop rotation. Continued innovation in these areas could have led to earlier advancements in food production, supporting larger populations and reducing famine. The application of mechanized farming techniques could have revolutionized agriculture, increasing efficiency and sustainability. Economic stability. The empire's centralized tax system and public spending on infrastructure could have created a stable economic environment. This stability might have allowed for the earlier development of financial institutions such as banks, stock markets, and credit systems. The economic surplus generated by a thriving empire could have been reinvested in scientific research, education, and cultural development, further accelerating progress. Global trade hubs. Key cities like Rome, Alexandria, and Constantinople could have evolved into global trade hubs, influencing economic policies and practices worldwide. The establishment of trade standards, such as weights, measures, and quality controls, would have facilitated seamless commerce across continents. 4. Cultural and religious impact. The cultural and religious legacy of a sustained Roman Empire would have been profound, shaping global identities in unique ways. Greco-Roman culture. The preservation and expansion of Greco-Roman culture would have influenced art, literature, and philosophy for centuries. Works by thinkers like Aristotle, Plato, and Cicero might have become even more foundational to global education systems. The Roman emphasis on public education and civic engagement could have created a more informed and active citizenry. Religious pluralism. The Roman Empire was initially polytheistic, but later became predominantly Christian. Its policies of religious tolerance, at least for much of its history, could have fostered a more pluralistic religious environment, avoiding many of the religious conflicts that plagued the post-Roman world. The coexistence of diverse religious practices might have encouraged dialogue and mutual understanding among faiths. Language, Latin, the lingua franca of the Roman Empire, might have remained the dominant global language. This could have simplified communication and education across regions, avoiding the linguistic fragmentation seen in Europe after Rome's fall. The widespread use of Latin could have also facilitated the sharing of knowledge and ideas across different cultures. Artistic flourishment. Roman art and architecture were heavily influenced by Greek traditions. With continuous development, new styles and techniques might have emerged, influencing global art and culture in profound ways. Public works such as amphitheaters, temples, and monuments could have continued to inspire architectural innovation. Geopolitical landscape. A continued Roman Empire would have dramatically altered the geopolitical landscape, pushing the boundaries of its influence across new territories, potentially leading to the creation of an even larger and more complex empire. Expansion into Northern and Eastern Europe. The Roman Empire might have continued its expansion into regions like Germania, the British Isles, and Scandinavia, integrating them into its political and cultural sphere. In the East, Rome could have extended its influence further into the steppes of Central Asia and the Caucasus, potentially coming into contact or conflict with other major empires like the Persian Empire. By maintaining military dominance and a strong administrative structure, the Roman Empire could have established control over these territories, making them part of a vast unified system, possibly reaching the Americas. A critical aspect of a continued Roman Empire would be its engagement in maritime exploration. With advanced naval technology and a tradition of expansion, the Romans could have reached the Americas centuries earlier than in actual history. Roman seafarers, driven by the need for new resources, trade routes, or military expansion, might have crossed the Atlantic, establishing colonies and integrating the New World into their empire. The Americas' natural resources and vast territories could have been exploited and integrated into the Roman economic system, accelerating the development of a truly global empire. Relations with the Persian Empire and Islamic caliphates. The relationship with neighboring empires like the Sassan Persian Empire could have shifted from constant warfare to diplomatic and economic alliances. The Roman Empire might have brokered peace with Persia and even created mutual defense pacts to counter common enemies. Over time, the consolidation of power between these two empires could have led to cooperation in areas such as trade, science, and cultural exchange. As for the rise of the Islamic caliphates, the Roman Empire's early political and military organization could have potentially tempered the growth of Islamic civilization, preventing the rapid spread of Islam across the Middle East and North Africa. Alternatively, with the Roman Empire enduring, these two civilizations might have coexisted and even collaborated in cultural exchanges, trade, and scientific advancements, leading to a more diverse Mediterranean world. Influence in Africa. The Roman Empire's influence over Africa would have extended far beyond its North African provinces. With greater stability and power, the Romans could have pushed deeper into sub-Saharan Africa, incorporating vast swathes of land and its resources into the empire. Regions rich in gold, ivory, and other valuable commodities could have played an important role in Roman trade networks, adding economic strength and diversity to the empire. Diplomatic ties with China and India. The Roman Empire already had limited diplomatic and trade contact with China and India, mainly through intermediaries along the Silk Road. With an enduring empire, direct diplomacy between Rome and these Eastern powers might have blossomed. The Romans might have sought to establish formal trade routes, sending Roman goods such as wine, olive oil, and glassware to India and China, while bringing back silk, spices, and precious metals. These exchanges would have facilitated a profound cultural and intellectual exchange, potentially accelerating the global interconnectedness of Afro-Eurasia long before the age of global trade in the modern era. Military developments. The Roman Empire's military, long regarded as one of the most advanced and disciplined forces in history, would have undergone significant evolution. Its innovative strategies, organizational structure, and technological advancements could have brought about even greater military dominance. Military technology and advancements. Had the Roman Empire continued its dominance, it is likely that military technology would have advanced much earlier than in our timeline. The Romans, known for their engineering prowess, might have been at the forefront of developing firearms, gunpowder-based weaponry, or even early forms of mechanized warfare. The Roman approach to siege warfare and engineering could have led to the early development of weapons and machines used in battle, providing them with a technological edge over any potential rivals. Standing armies and specialized forces. Rome's military structure would have evolved in response to changing geopolitical needs. The concept of standing armies with specialized roles, such as infantry, cavalry, and artillery, would have been further refined. This might have led to the development of specialized military branches, such as air forces, had aerial technology been invented, and even the formalization of navy units to secure Roman control over both land and sea. This strategic flexibility could have revolutionized warfare, providing the Roman Empire with unmatched military strength. Military-industrial complex. With an empire that continuously sought to expand and maintain its vast territories, the Roman Empire might have developed an early version of the military-industrial complex. The empire's focus on innovation and resource management could have led to an industry dedicated to the development and mass production of weapons, military technology, and supplies, ensuring that the Roman legions were always ready for war. This military-industrial system could have acted as a driver of economic growth and technological innovation, influencing the Roman economy and global trade networks. Naval advancements and global exploration. Roman naval technology would have evolved alongside their military needs, with the Romans pushing for the development of more advanced warships and exploration vessels. The control of key maritime routes, such as those in the Mediterranean, would have allowed Rome to dominate international trade and security. Roman ships could have ventured into the Atlantic, Indian Ocean, and possibly beyond, facilitating global exploration much earlier than in actual history. In addition, a powerful and capable Roman navy would have secured Roman trade routes, preventing piracy and ensuring the safe flow of goods across vast distances. This would have led to the establishment of Roman-controlled ports and trade hubs, strengthening Rome's global economic network. Stability and peace. With its military supremacy, the Roman Empire could have maintained a more stable and peaceful world within its borders. The Pax Romana, Roman peace, might have been extended for centuries, providing a period of relative peace and prosperity in Europe, North Africa, and parts of Asia. Constant warfare, common during the medieval period, might have been avoided, allowing for long-term economic growth, cultural exchange, and scientific development. This expanded analysis underscores the profound implications that the survival of the Roman Empire would have had on the geopolitical, military, economic, and technological landscape. The interplay between Roman governance, military might, and its global aspirations would have reshaped world history, potentially leading to an earlier and more interconnected global civilization. Thanks for listening to this podcast. New episodes are released every Monday through Friday, so be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to never miss out. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like, share, and leave a review. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.